Hi, dear ones. I hope you are doing well today. I'm here to do a couple of things. First off, I'd like to let you know all about my mentorship with tarot and what that involves and how that looks. And then I also wanted to do a little presentation on how to work with your intuition, kind of a crash course and like some first things that you can do. Because our intuition is our inner knowing. It's something that comes when you're psychic, you're accessing other realms, but intuition comes from all the things that you already know and are sensing in your senses. And it does have a very spiritual aspect. I believe every one of the senses has a spiritual counterpart. The sense of seeing is also available as the sense of clairvoyance. The sense of hearing is also available as clairaudience. So I do believe there is a spiritual aspect to it, but I believe it comes through in a very grounded way. To give you an example, sometimes clairaudience can work as hearing a voice that you already know in the spirit world or you know in the physical world. Clairvoyance can come off as seeing something like a situation in someone's life, like their job or a relationship. So, and it can even come through as symbolic, as seeing, clouds in the sky or seeing the sun or seeing a bird. So I believe that there's easy ways to learn how to connect with your intuition, and all it takes is practice. If you're willing to put in the time and practice, anyone can access their intuition more and more profoundly and more intuitively and connectively. So I wanted to kind of touch on that at the end, but I thought before I got into that, I would just like to offer some details to you about my tarot mentorship. I only mentor one student at a time, just because it is a very intensive process, and it is something in which I involve myself very thoroughly. My past students will tell you, but I think it's a wonderful, wonderful process and program. It's an 8-week process, and what we do for 8 weeks is we dive into everything tarot. The first 4 weeks are pretty much the nuts and bolts of tarot, like the history, the historical meanings of the cards, different symbology, a symbol dictionary, just really accessing the mundane and very practical aspects of reading with the cards and understanding that. Then the last 4 weeks, we dive in more deeply to really understanding how you access the wisdom of the cards. And also, if you're wanting to read for other people, I have a whole education and understanding on that. So we kind of start to work on how are you going to set up your process? How are you going to craft your business? What are you going to charge? How are you going to do this? So it's a really, like, every single bit of information that I can give you, anything that I've collected from books and classes and understanding in my own history of reading for many, 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 many clients. So I bring in all of that. I literally bare my soul to you and give you all the nuts and bolts, all the juicy details, everything that I have learned, and lots of client stories that will help inform, your own path and trajectory forward. So along with the weekly classes that are an hour long each, we will meet once a week for 8 weeks, and we meet a 9th week as a check-in and just any final questions that you would have. Along with doing that once a week, I also will give you a personal tarot reading every one of those weeks. So you get a total of 8 half-hour readings, which is really, really fun. It's really fun to have, the cards read for you every week for 8 weeks. You can bring in your own questions you want to ask. They can be regarding the actual tarot journey you're taking with me, or they can be something completely different. It's just an experience for you to not only have these readings that are supporting you and helping you, but these readings also will become a guide for you as you see how a tarot reader interacts in a reading, and brings forward the information intuitively, and how you connect with a client, through a YouTube screen like this or in person. So and then along with that, I also offer support, text and email support on usually a daily basis. I'm usually able to interact, to help you as you do your daily readings and you're trying to understand what the cards are telling you. So there's lots of support built into this offering. And I feel like it's a really, I've crafted it to be not only educational, but also to really build your own spiritual connection, with yourself, your intuitive connection with your inner knowing, and also your intuitive and connection with the cards. When you come out of this 8 weeks, you will be reading tarot. You will know what you're doing, and you will feel confident, and you'll feel supported in that journey. And I'm just so excited about it, and I'm just so excited for the next person who's going to be studying with me. It's just super fun, and it's a process that I've gone through several times already, and I just love so, so, so much. My history is I used to actually teach piano and flute lessons, so I've got lots of teaching experience. I've been teaching for 25 years. I still loosely teach piano on the side, but tarot has become my life. And I read for clients. I do lots and lots of study on the side and teaching with tarot and reading for others. I work with astrology. So really the esoteric rabbit hole has become my cup of tea. So, but I just wanted to give you a brief idea. All right, so moving into, I just want to give a brief idea of how to connect with your intuition with cards. So we will draw a card from this deck today. This is the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle Cards deck. This is a very great deck to kind of build your intuition. If you do the mentorship program with me, we'd mostly be working with tarot, but of course you can work with some Oracle cards with it, but it is a tarot mentorship. But this deck just seemed like a really accessible way to kind of present to you how to connect with your intuition. So let's see, what card would like to come forward here? And the card that comes forward is, hang on a second. All right. So the card we have is this one. So the very first things I like to notice that's jumping out at me when I'm reading with my intuition is just kind of noticing if I have a feeling come forward with this card. And I immediately get this feeling of almost like, you know, the moon here is waxing, at least where I am in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be waning. So it feels like I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the colors that are jumping out. Like I'm noticing a lot of the pinks and blues. I'm feeling into the structure of the card. It feels like, you know, we've got some structure here, but we've also got like a window looking into this wide open space. So, and then I might take note, like this card actually has words on it, take a break. So I might kind of filter that through my intuitive filter here as I'm looking at it. But you're looking for those first things that jump out at you. And so as I've said these things, like what it's telling to me is that perhaps there's too much structure in my life. Like this building feels kind of heavy. And it feels like I'm looking out into this window and I'm seeing like so much more that's possible. I'm seeing, you know, these beautiful, beautiful sand cliffs. I'm seeing the moon, and there's something in me that wants to go out and play. In the front of the card, it almost looks like there's some water. So I'm thinking about how much I want to interact with that. So intuitively, I'm going to be telling the person that I'm reading for that it is time to take a break, and that the things that you've been doing, the mundane daily details, are just wearing you down, and it's time to go out and play and to interact with the sky and to almost grow those parts of your life with the waxing moon, grow those parts of your life that need that fun and that play, that sacred play. And sometimes I think we think about, you know, going out on a hike or going out on the lake for a day or hanging out with friends as being, you know, maybe not as worthy as the work we do. But that's, for me, untrue, because it feels like those things are so valuable, and those things are what really provide the space to allow us to do more, to go farther, to expand in ways that are powerful. So our work is actually enhanced by our play. So that's a quick little idea of how to kind of connect with your intuition. But the main things I'm looking for is, you know, color, structure, word, feeling, those immediate impressions. Like I don't want to think about it for too long. You can overthink something almost out of the intuitive place. It really is the initial thing that catches your eye, the initial color, the initial feeling that you want to work with as you work with your intuition. So I hope this video has been helpful and kind of gives you a new concept of how to work with your cards. I'm looking forward to connecting with you in the next video, and just so you know, I appreciate so much every like, comment, and subscribe you guys give me. It means the world to me to be able to connect with you all in this way and to have this channel. It's been a real stretch for me to start putting myself out on YouTube since the beginning of this year, and I'm loving every moment. It feels like just a new way to really connect with you personally, and you can see my face and not just, you know, a line on a Facebook page. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, so much love, so many blessings, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.